terms of the tactical battle, Pep got it right.
Mikel, obviously a big disappointment. How raw does it feel right now?
Yeah, it's painful when you get to a final and you have that will to win the first trophy of the season after 8 months working on it is always tough. The game had moments in the first half. I think we were very good. We had the best chance of the game so far to put it 1-0, and then the game would have been different. In the second half, we started not so great, and the first 15-20 minutes we have problems sitting too deep and then giving the ball away straight away too many occasions. But the reality is that they had 2 shots and they scored 2 goals, and that's the level as well.
What's your overall feeling about how your team have played, though? Do you have that sort of nagging sense that on the big day you didn't quite deliver your best level?
There are 2 different halves. I think the first half, one that is very positive, and the second half in every sense, and the second half, especially the first 20-25 minutes, a different one. But as well, you have to give credit to the position and the level that they have, and that's not a coincidence. That's what they've done in the last 10 years.
What happened in that phase of the game? You seem to suddenly start to find it so difficult to get out.
To get out from?
From the keeper to you were obviously trying to bait the press, and it felt so difficult for you to get up the pitch.
We were imprecise on time. We had the opportunities to break them through. We give the ball away. When we regained the ball, we gave it straight back, and then they had momentum in deep, which they're going to do at times because, as I said, they are really good on that. And then, without really creating nothing, they scored the first goal out of nothing, and 3 minutes later, the second one.
A genuine question. Is there anything more you can do in those moments? There's a couple of phases where Kepa holds onto the ball with it at his feet for like 40 seconds. Is he doing the right thing there to try and bait the press, or is there another way around that?
Talk about a lot of things, and it's not the moment to talk about that.
Okay. And obviously, for the manager, always, if you win, you're a genius. If you lose, you're the guy who has to answer the questions.
Which I am.
Which you are, absolutely. But any regrets about the choice of goalkeeper? That will be the headline from that, I guess.
I would do it again because he deserves to play this game, and he's been phenomenal for us, and that's it. Errors are part of football, and anybody can make them.
Do you think the weight of necessity, expectation, they're used to winning, you're trying to obviously make a breakthrough, does that play any part today?
I don't think, because if not, I think we would have seen it in the first half, and that didn't happen.
Yeah. Last question then, how important to stay calm in this moment? You've still got potentially a huge, magical season ahead of you. And I remember after Wolves, and I remember after Man United, you stayed calm, you kept the team sort of on message. Is it another important moment for calm heads?
We had 8 incredible months together. Today is a disappointment. Football is part of that, and then we have to work and improve and use that fire that we have in the belly right now to have 2 amazing months at the end of the season.
Thank you, Mikel.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well done.
I mean, it's no surprising, is it, that he's going to say he's got no regrets over his selection. He's not going to come out and go, actually, with hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have switched my goalkeepers. Yeah. He's got to support his players. That's understandable.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is obviously it would have been brilliant for us to win this for the fans. They haven't seen us lift a trophy. Probably when we did lift a trophy, it was in the COVID, so it would have been nice for the fans. But in respects of, like I say, the project and what we're doing, the main thing is to focus on the league. This would have been good, and I think that we have to be in the mindset of, come on, let's get ready, let's go again. It's unfortunate. City done well; they're a great side. They punished us for the mistakes we made, but we've got bigger fish to fry, so let's go and focus on that.
Does the international break help, do you think? And actually they've got the FA Cup as well, so it goes international break, then FA Cup. Yeah. So the next time they play in the league is what? 3 weeks away.
There's plenty of time, but like Arsenal's record, they've scored the joint most goals with City, and they conceded the less goals. They're still playing well, they're still making themselves difficult to beat. They're not making it comfortable to watch an Arsenal game in respect of the latter stages, apart from what Max done the other day. But they're still winning games, and we've got to go to the positive place because we want to finish this off. This is the 4th season we're trying to do it. Can't finish second again. We've got to try and finish this off, and that's where we need to make sure that the energy is focused on getting that done.
So would you have started Raya today?
Me personally?
Yes, just
me personally. Yeah, of course I would. Because I
said that before the game as well,
right?
Yeah,
only because, listen, I don't mind the sentiment, of playing the second keeper. I don't mind it if that's what you want to do. But for me, if you want to win the tournament, you want your best goalkeeper in. I think that's just how I feel about it. And I think that kind of mistake and the reason why fans will probably say, well, Raya should have started, but he doesn't regret it. He believes it was the right decision to make. Unfortunately, he made that mistake, and now, you know what I mean, again, you just have to think to yourself, well, it was a gamble and it didn't work out.
The flip side of that, of course, Jamie, and you said you would have started Raya at the start as well. The flip side of that is that anybody can make a mistake, and as I asked you pre-match, if at the start of the Carabao Cup campaign you say, I'm going to go with my number 2 keeper, and you get all the way to the final that way, players are going to appreciate the loyalty of that, aren't they?
I think they'd appreciate if you hadn't dropped that ball and Raya was in goal. So no, I don't get that sentiment, if I'm honest, Mark. It's just the way I am. I don't. This has become a new phenomenon over the last few years. Now we've seen Kepa. I'm not trying to jump into his grave here, but we saw him something very similar happen when he was a goalkeeper for Chelsea.
Sarri,
when he had Sarri and he had cramp and then he missed a penalty. So I don't really like this, but Kelleher is a great example where it's gone really well for, because he did that for Liverpool. Now, each to their own. I don't like it. I just feel that it should be, you're trying to win it. Max Allane is a really good young defender. He played against Newcastle as a centre-back. So brilliant. He did really well. But does that mean that you're going to because he did really well against Newcastle, let's play him at centre-back. The most important position where, especially with goalkeepers being a little bit rusty, they make mistakes. So he looked at it, and that mistake looked like a goalkeeper that hasn't had a lot of form. It doesn't make any sense to me to do it. But it's become a new thing, and it's great, it's been nice, let's keep our goalkeepers happy. Arsenal need to win trophies. That's the stick that beats them all the time. Now, if they win this one today, and I don't think David Raya, people might say, well, David Raya made a mistake against Wolves a few weeks ago, but that was a totally different one to that one today. I just think I wouldn't have started him, and it was a big mistake playing him.
As he sees his Manchester City side win.
What can I say? Always when we win a trophy is important, but especially it was special because we had a tough 2 weeks, and especially against opponent. So it's the strongest one. What I've done in the Champions League is so difficult, and the way, especially the second half. In the first as well, the first 15 minutes they suffocate us. We could not breathe. And after that, when we won some second balls and we start, to play, and especially Jeremy in the second half and Ryan. So I'm really pleased because I know against the opponent we face, Mikel create a team like is almost unbeatable, and especially the way we that make us happy. And of course, bring the 5th Carabao Cup in 10 years is not bad.
You are the manager who's won it the most, 5 times. Of course, each one has a different story, but what is special about this one?
Every time you win a title, it looks like more difficult than it was in the past. Now, win a title is really, really complicated for many reasons, for the amount of games, for the amount of consistency you have, for the quality of the opponents, and that's why it's over time. I said, last time we won one title, I don't remember which one, I said, maybe it's so difficult. It doesn't matter which one, and especially the team behave unbelievable.
What is hardest, Pep? Is it to win so many titles in a row with pretty much the same team and just keep winning, or is it to rebuild little by little and go back to winning?
Yeah, when you start to win and still the generation is young and still they are there, you can continue that. But we bring a lot of players that are still, because it's not about what we have to do. I need to know them. So I need to know how they behave in certain moments in that way, the connection display in this player. And today in the modern football, and you lose games, you are no chance because everyone is so competitive and difficult. And I think will be a good learning for the future, the team, and hopefully next season we can do better.
With Nico O'Reilly, how happy are you to see him score twice, because you saw different things on him, you moved him around the pitch. How satisfying is it for you personally?
Maybe I have been the sign of the season, right? So when I started the season and we have a long conversation with him, he didn't know he want to play, and for different circumstances, for injury at the beginning, he started to play in the left back and impressed a lot. His physicality in the set pieces in the game can play. He played in I remember Newcastle, a holding midfielder alongside Nico Gonzalez. It was unbelievable. So he can play in many roles. He's a guy in the final third in the position like he likes. He's an attacking midfielder, going in the box. He's really good in the aerial situations, especially offensively. Defensively must improve and make 2 fantastic goals.
you said recently that this team is so close to being where you want them to be in so many aspects. How much of a step was it today for them to be even closer to the team that you want?
We in hell, but still we are not the team like, for example, Arsenal are, or like we were in the past. Like always we found a way, to win titles. And this team is still, but what I said was said before, I'm not suspicious now to say it after win the Carabao Cup. It was underneath, we were close, but you have to refine, you have to insist and rework, and because the teams, you don't understand why you are there, and nothing, you are on the bottom. So warnings always has to be on, and of course, but for the club, a lot of new generation start to do that is very important.
And finally, how do you expect this trophy to reflect on the title, the Premier League title race?
I would love to have 9 points in front, to be honest. I would like, so it's in their hands, so they do to lose. I don't know, now I need personally an incredible break. I'm exhausted, devastated, and after we see step by step, but of course they have, I think, Nottingham and West Ham, the drop points there that punish us a lot, but yeah, we try one game a hand. They come in at the Etihad Stadium with our people, and continue quarterfinals against Liverpool at home. That I think that will help us for that tournament, especially. Hopefully the people can come, our fans. That today was amazing. Last season, for example, maybe were not full, and today they come all Manchester here. And I'm so happy for them, because last 2 seasons I've struggled a little bit, but for happy, and people will try.
Well done, Pep. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thing as well, Micah, in cup finals in general, he has won 18 out of 22.
He's a master, isn't he?
Which is, I mean, that is a phenomenal record, isn't it?
And that's why he's so incredible in what he does, the way he plays football, the way he approaches the game. The way he always wants to win the game. When you see other coaches tactically will go maybe into a defensive formation or wait, no matter what, he wants to win football with attacking football. And there was that game when he went to a 5 at the back at Arsenal, wasn't there? Yes, at Emirates.
5-4-1,
and it was
defensive.
strange to see him do that, because normally he would always be on the front foot. But in terms of big moments, he's one of the best to ever do it, without doubt.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was going to say, and a coach of his stature, he's not stuck to one, one formation. If he feels he has to come to Arsenal and he's Man City and he play 5-4-1, he'll play 5-4-1. But you can see him at the sideline here. It means the world to him. His team playing well and playing to a certain standard. It's really good to see. It's really good to see. He won't let them rest on anything.
Because you can kind of look at the different levels of why he's pleased about today, whether it be simply winning a trophy, which is what they're all in it for, whether it be the new players that he's talked about, whether it be his relationship with Mikel Arteta, and then the league title race as well.
He played it down when he was asked a question about the league title.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, of course you'd rather be in Arsenal's dressing room. You've got a 9-point buffer, but that can quickly change. And I feel if Arsenal would have won today, I just think that would have put Manchester City to bed. Now, it's just asked the question, the pressure will just ramp up just that extra little bit. There was a bit of a break now, obviously, with the internationals, and it gives Arsenal a lot of thinking time. That they are the favourites, and rightly so, and I still think they will win it. But it just changes the dynamic. For a team that hasn't got across the line, now you've really asked the question, OK, we're coming after you. And I think with a team like Manchester City, that's probably the last side you want.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing that probably goes against them, Ian, is that they've drawn 2 games against West Ham and against Nottingham Forest at the wrong time. But now this has given them that little bit of confidence again.
The thing is people are saying the 9 points, and I think this is not a bad thing for Arsenal to reset themselves and refocus, because they have to. It's not going to be easy, because there's no way that Man City players are going down into that tunnel. This is 9 points, but then they've got a game in hand and they've got to play them. It can go down to 3, and then all of a sudden the pressure really turns up. So this Man City side, make no mistake, him saying he wants to be 9 points. This 9 points is a tight 9 points, and this is what I feel from Arsenal's point of view have to do. They have to really refocus and just get themselves back on track in what they want to do. They need to win games now. You know, people talk about how they win in the games, the set pieces. It doesn't matter. Everybody knows it doesn't matter. We've got a DNA of winning games, resilience. They've got to kick into that, because I think this team, they know it's not over. It's not over. If we're going to be totally honest about what's going on, it's not over.
What happened with Arsenal today, though, right? From your point of view?
That, like I said, Meeks, I saw that when City were pressing them really high, it seems like City were pressing them really high because I think for a start, Saka's not going to be blasting. I don't think Gyökeres is going to be blasting with the kind of pace that's going to cause them problems. And I don't think Trossard is going to either. I think when you look at how poorly our midfield was in respect of Zubimendi's retention of the ball and how he kept it, it wasn't good today. So even if we were going to try and play out, we didn't have the players who were playing well enough for it. And then all of a sudden, it just kept the ball. We got the ball up top to the guys, Kai Havertz and Gyökeres. It came straight back. And so after the 15 minutes, after that chance, hopefully that chance went in, maybe they would have played differently. But once that chance went in, all of a sudden, City just got more and more confident, just more and more playing, and then more and more expand, and then they just started playing how they play.
Do you give City credit for how they neutralised Arsenal, all of you, in that they particularly in the second half, they couldn't play it short because they pressed high, and yet they couldn't go long because they couldn't keep it up there because City defended as well as they did.
If you looked at the stats today, it felt like Kepa had more touches of the ball from Arsenal than anyone else. He was waiting on the ball, holding the ball. And the disappointment would be...
Which is my point, therefore, do you give City credit for that? Because he was there holding the ball and had no options.
But I also think you have to look at Arsenal as well, because one thing, they lost Odegaard and no Eze today, and that's a huge blow, because you need somebody, I always think as a midfield, that's where you can win the game, especially if you get hold of it. Cherky started to influence the game second half. You didn't really see Kai Havertz. But the one thing I will say is, even when they went direct, against Ake and Kusanov, they were brilliant. Because that physicality that Arsenal, we would think they might be the dominant factor, never transpired. They dealt with them so well. I never saw Havertz or Gyökeres win a header or a second ball. So you were never really able to get hold of that game in that area in.
So that's why it felt a little bit like, things are going to have to change, because for me, I said it, once we started sitting down there after the 15, 20 minutes, I said, this game, it needs Martinelli. Because what we needed an out, get everybody up, excuse me, and then try and press them up there, maybe win the ball back, and then see if we could attack them further up the pitch. But we couldn't get out. We couldn't get out because as soon as we got out, Gyökeres would lose it or Kai Havertz would lose it. They'd get it and they'd straight back at us. Straight back at Nketiah, who was on a yellow card.
I think that's exactly right. But I think in answer to your question, Chappers, yes, it is down to Man City as well because they were brave. If you look how they set up when Arsenal had the ball and the goalkeeper was dawdling on the ball, they was going a 4-2-4, wasn't they?
Yes.
And previously, Man City sometimes go with a 3 and they just didn't let them out. But then the defenders had to be brave and go all the way up. That's why you've seen so many tussles in the first half a little bit. And then they saw in the second half, they built on that momentum. And Arsenal was making so many individual errors. And I think in modern day football now, everyone is so on trying to play out from the back. Sometimes you just need to kick the ball long, squeeze up, and then get a breather, and then see if Arsenal can do that to Man City. But they just couldn't get anywhere.
Jay, do you think that with Kepa, obviously, mate, we could talk about a goal. Do you think with Kepa, because I haven't seen City do that before, the 4 up like that. Do you think they wanted to keep the pressure on Kepa in playing out like he did? Because it was very shaky. It wasn't solid, was it?
Absolutely. He never looked comfortable with the ball at his feet, because also the way that Arsenal are so used to playing with Raya, who's unbelievable, probably one of the best sweeper keepers I've ever seen, because he makes great angles for the centre-backs as soon as they've got the ball. It's totally different when you've got a different keeper in there. Yeah. And I think that, of course, he makes a mistake, but I just also think when you've got a goalkeeper that's not used to playing with your back four, don't complicate it.
Yes.
You know, and Mike, I want to bring you back something that you said off camera, which was a great point. You said
what?
Very early in the second half, he said he's got to take off Nketiah. He's got to make the change. He waited, and all of a sudden, 1-0, he was going to make it. They're all ready to come on, and they go 2-0 down. Then the game's pretty much gone. You're not going to get back in it from there. But they should have made that. So I think he should have made that substitution early because it'd been booked.
I think you're right. I think we all played football, even at your level, Chappers. Momentum's a big thing in football.
Exactly.
And when Semenyo went up against Nkapie early in the second half, I would said he needs to get him off. Because on the goal, like you said, he wasn't getting tight because he can't trust him. You know Nkapie, he's been brilliant for Arsenal, but he's been brilliant because he's been aggressive. And he couldn't be aggressive because he was on a yellow card. That's when I think the mistake was made. He should have changed it after he's seen Semenyo was getting the better of him earlier on in that half.
Just on aggressive defending, can I just do one more on Manchester City? And then after the break, we're going to hear from Mikel Arteta. We can do more of Arsenal. Kusanov.
Outstanding.
And he... I think if you don't watch City week in, week out, you will still go back to the debut. He had a horrific debut, didn't he, for City against Chelsea? And yet, you talk to City fans, and they are telling us that he is one of the first names on the team sheet at the moment. With how he is performing, as I say, I mean, he flattened Gyökeres and got a yellow card in the first half, but he does look transformed.
Yeah, but you have to look at the setup. When you watch City play, and that's why Kyle Walker was so important, City have so many men forward at a time in the game where if your positioning is not right, you will get exposed, and that's why I miss Kyle Walker. Núñez went into right back, but Kusanov, because of his pace now, you see him, he's starting to read the game. He played unbelievable against Real Madrid. It's one of the best performances I've seen from a young centre-half. And then you build that confidence, you know what you're doing, and then you trust him easily. And when your teammates trust you, it just gives you that little bit of confidence. And that is
Go on, James.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I think it felt like a big moment for him was in the Carabao Cup early in the season. We were at a game at Newcastle away when he started with Max Lane. And I said before the game, I was definitely wrong, that's an area where Newcastle can really exploit.
He wasn't wrong because of the inexperienced.
He was fantastic. And he's just been given time because a lot of players, that debut was... It was horrendous in terms of, you almost, as a player, you felt so sorry for him.
You did, yeah.
His head was in a tumble dryer. I know he just signed. He probably shouldn't have been exposed to that.
Yeah.
But unbelievable how he's come back. And he's got one valuable, he's got a lot of valuable commodities, but the one that he's got in abundance is pace.
Lightning.
He is so quick.
It always helps.
You know the thing, what I would say, this is why I'm saying, you look at someone like Kusanov, you've got to watch him and how he plays. He's one of them defenders, Micah, Jane, he wants to win it because you've got to start making the kind of movement to make him think I'm going to go there, then I'm going to go here. You've got to start making him think because what he wants to do, he wants to nick it in front. He wants to come and hit it in front. They need to start making a movement for me, Gyökeres, where he's going to go there, but he's going to go long, so he's got to give Kusanov some form of problem. And it didn't happen today.
And I'll tell you what he did fantastically well, because we spoke about with getting booked Nkapie. He got booked early in the game. But he still managed it well.
Yeah.
He never got himself in a position. He knew when to get tight and be aggressive, and he knew when to step off. But that was the difference. In Nkapie, like you say, he just didn't know what to do. And that is also credit to Semenyo and Cherki down that right-hand side.
Cup final. You've seen your heroes have these moments, your Gundogan's, Rodri's, Aguero's. What's it like to have your own?
Yeah, unbelievable feeling. I mean, to win a final, obviously to beat this team, we know how good they are. And now we need to build on it. It'll give us good momentum. And buzzing with today.
Yeah, and from a family of City fans, came through the City Academy, that make it all the more extraordinary. I mean, you must be stood here now thinking, has this really happened to me?
Yeah, a bit of disbelief. Seeing all the fans cheering like that when I scored them goals. Really a good feeling and a great weekend, a great birthday weekend.
Yeah, like I said, you are from a family of City fans. Who's here today? Who's enjoying it with you? Who's been on the journey?
My whole family came down today. They're all in the stand, and I know they'll be buzzing, and can't wait to celebrate with them.
They definitely will be. You just have that knack, even though you're actually playing left back today, of arriving in the box at the right time. When did that develop in your game?
I think since I was a kid, I always played midfield. I was always arriving in the box and scoring goals. And to bring it into the senior level and at the highest level, I mean, it's good for me. It adds goals to my game, and great feeling.
Looking forward now to walking up those steps and picking up that trophy.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Well done.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Of what we all expect of Man City, that's because Arsenal have been so good and they've found ways to win games. The difference is now is what Man City can do going forward.
Arsenal today had nobody really to get their foot on the ball and make them play. Havertz is not that player. He's not the sort of player like an Odegaard or an Eze in midfield. Saka's off the ball at the moment. You're not going to see him running beyond anyone. Trossard wants to come into pockets. I think Kusanov did a great job defensively against
Even
Arsenal.
Zubimendi, we know our quality he's got. Even he couldn't get going today,
It's a
James.
lot to ask for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's this guy. I love this fella, this maestro here.
Let's talk to Bernardo Silva, who has joined us. There are some
You come here.
and then you can talk some more. That felt like I have to say about the first 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. As you said, the first 15 minutes, it felt difficult. They were able to create a big chance where James Trafford was amazing for us. I think especially the second half, the way we started the second half, we tried to go for them a bit more. We felt that they also lost a bit of energy, and when we felt that, we had to go even more for them. And Mikel Arteta is really good in arriving in the box in those moments. We were lucky enough to score the first one, and then when we're on top, we're always a team that can find well the spaces. So it was really good for us, a very good performance.
When we were watching it up in the box before coming down, you know, we said in that second half, the guy said, yeah, you can feel that you've got them really, they can't get out. Are you saying that to each other on the pitch? Do you feel that you've got them?
Yeah, for sure. In a final, you know both teams are going to have momentums. I think Arsenal's momentum was the first 10 to 15 minutes. And in those moments, you try to fight together to make it as short as possible. And when you feel the momentum, you have to make it as large as possible and really go for them. That's what we try to do with Jeremy and Semenyo on both wings. We have the firepower to go for them as well, with Nico Riley arriving at the box, Cherki with the magic to find the small spaces. And today I think we were really good.
Can I ask about you though, how consistent you have been? Whether you're playing on the left, the right or midfield, there's been talk about Man City not having the energy, but you've always stepped up no matter what system Man City play.
Well, I try to help the team as much as possible. I know exactly the way the manager wants to play. I know the standards that this club demands, and I always try my best. I'm really happy and proud of the boys, because beating this team is not easy. They're a fantastic side.
You know, I saw that you seem to have the 4 up front, the 2 in the midfield, yourself and Rodri, and then the back 4. Was that a ploy of your guys to put them under pressure, let them lock long and get the ball back and attack us again?
I think with the players that we had today on the pitch, our job, mine and Rodri in the back 4, was just to give as much stability as possible to the team. So we wanted to stay stable, stay compact, not make stupid mistakes, and then let them bring the game to us, because with the quality, with the magic that they have, they could do that. That's what they did, and I think overall it was a very good performance.
We're going to get into trouble because you need it for the celebrations. Very quickly, a lot of new players in this squad. What do you think it means to them? You've had all the experience of the trophies, but now they're coming up behind you and following on.
For sure, to get the first trophy, it releases a bit the pressure. It also makes you feel well, and you want to repeat that feeling, so it's really good for the young guys.
Go on, otherwise we're going to get into trouble. Congratulations, well done. What were you going to ask?
Well, I was going to ask him, I was going to take it forward and say, what does this do now for the title race? Because there's obviously 9 points in it. They've got a game in hand, and they've also got to play Arsenal at the Etihad. What would that do? Does it change anything? Does it maybe leave Arsenal with a bit of scar tissue? And does it feel more beating them? Now, he's not here to answer that question.
Know what I'm hoping, James?
I will tell you what I think.
Yeah,
I think now, if we take it back to last year when Liverpool lost here against Newcastle, there was 12 points in it, and that's a massive buffer. And the other teams didn't have a game in hand. For Arsenal, I think right now, the doubts, the negativity, this changes the whole complexion of this title race. And I'm not saying it makes Manchester City completely back in it, but it gives them a massive opportunity when they play in April.
Well, I think you make great points there, James, but this is, for the guys to come out and play this poorly, especially like you heard him say it there himself, after 15 minutes they felt quite comfortable in it. For them to come out and play quite poorly in a game of this magnitude for Arsenal, people will probably ask questions, but Arsenal's project is about trying to win that league, so this might be the catalyst to make them understand, listen, we can't do this. We're not going to be playing with Kepa in goal. We probably have Eze back. Odegaard might be back. So it's a different team that's going to be going out there, but what's got to happen is the mentality's got to be, it's got to be a lot better than it was today in the way we start. We can't do 15 minutes and then clock off simply because we can't break them down.
Natalie Jedra with Nathan Ake. Let's look at the 2 goals. Kepa will take all the flak, Ian, for the first one. But City were dominating all of the Arsenal team at that stage.
Yeah, they were. Because like Bernardo said there, after the first 15 minutes, they kind of felt comfortable. But it was just one of those where you're just hoping that, okay, Arsenal stay in it so as we can maybe get to the substitutions, and then bam, this happens. It's such a blow. It's such a blow at that time because we're already on our heels and we're trying to get into the game, finding it very difficult from all quarters. And then, the goalkeeper, I think he's too close to the near post there, and it's just a fumble. And it's unfortunate because, like I say, he had faith in him, tried to play him, all that sentimental stuff I said at the start of the game, and then this happens, and that's what can happen, unfortunately.
I don't know if we can re-cue that, actually, because I want to talk about it from a defensive point of view. Wright was talking his stuff there. And just in terms of defensively being on a yellow card. And in Capie, we talked about Semenyo had him on toast today.
Yeah.
But just his position here. Nkapie is known for being very aggressive. When he plays left back, he goes then to engage Bernardo Silva. But because he's on that yellow card, he doesn't want to go. And now he's got players. And you wanted to talk about O'Reilly, didn't you, Jamie?
Well, I just think this is the benefit. Now, Nico said it in that interview with Patrick Davis, said that he was a midfielder all his career. But not only is he a midfielder, look at the size of him. He's about 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah.
That then becomes a mismatch with Zubimendi. This is your point, Michael. Get tighter. Don't let him get into the box. It's too easy.
But he would get tighter if he wasn't on that yellow card. And that is the difference. And that's where I think Arteta should have made the change at half-time, because when you're defending on a yellow card, you defend differently, especially when you're up against someone like Semenyo on that right-hand side.
Which I suppose was what I was trying to say was the final most important error comes from the goalkeeper. Yeah. There are other things in the build-up that you could highlight as not going how Arsenal would have wanted them to go.
Yeah, but I think that the main thing has been pointed here. Pep's really up for it. The main thing has been pointed out there by Jamie there with Nkapie, because when he gets on the ball, 5 yards, he can actually pass it past him. He passed it past him.
Come and say hello.
When you're coming in, what's that,
Erling Haaland has just joined us, and we're going to show the second goal that Nico O'Reilly scores. You could talk us through it, Erling, as Nico O'Reilly scores, because this is a very good header, isn't it?
Yeah. Take it a bit back when I start pressing, though. No, I needed a bit more.
You want it even further? I haven't got it any further back. I can't do that.
Because I was running like a dog then.
Yeah. You must be very pleased for him.
I mean, first of all, Jeremy, amazing game. He held the ball for us, amazing, and won loads of balls. And I think also that was so good. Let's speak about the goal. Sorry.
It's a beautiful goal.
Bernardo fills up in the box. Antoine, that's what we need to do. We need to get many in the box because, it's a bigger chance of scoring when the more you have there. And what a ball from Mateus it's amazing.
And I can hear this. We're all over the place there.
This is like
it's a beautifully placed header, though, isn't it?
No, and this is not the first time he's done it this season. He's done it. I don't remember which games. It was a home game against, I can't remember, Newcastle or something.
Yeah.
I had an amazing header. So, what a game for him, and I'm so happy for him, to be honest.
It's a great run, Erlen. I just want to bring your attention to Bernardo Silva's run into the box here, because that then takes Saliba. You can see him here. He then gets Saliba's attention, and that just lets him Nico O'Reilly just behind him. Fantastic run.
And that's what we need to do. We need to work around each other, and we need movement in the box, because this is what happens. And then we need to cross more as well, like this. So what an amazing day.
Thank you very much for joining us. We need to get off air on ITV. So thank you very much. Congratulations. Antoine Semenyo has joined us. Micah Richards is with us sometimes as he keeps hugging and having selfies with various City players that go past. Congratulations, winners medal, which is what you joined for.
Yeah, 100%. First of many. I'm excited, I'm happy, and many more to come.
What were you feeling like before this final, you personally?
Very chilled.
Were you?
Very chilled and relaxed. It's just another game for me.
Was that because of the players in the dressing room? Did they make you feel very chilled and relaxed?
Yeah,
Is that
it's
what
just like we had a game plan, and if we got a game plan right, we would win, and we done that today, so we're all proud and happy.
What about the position? You've played up front, you've played on the wing.
Yeah.
On the wing, you was devastating. Do you prefer that position?
Yeah, I think I just have that freedom to do what I want, get at defenders and cause problems, and that's what I done today. Had Nkapie running around a little bit. But
You had him on his hind legs, bro.
Well, listen, it's just what I do. It's my job, and it just gives me that freedom.
Did you feel as the game wore on that you could get real success down that right-hand side, because that's really where the goals come from, because Nkapia had been booked?
Yeah. As soon as he got booked, he was backing off a lot, so it gave me the opportunity to drive at him, get in the box, cause problems, cross, shoot, whatever it was. So, yeah.
When you signed from Bournemouth, I obviously watched you so much there. Can you believe how well things have gone? Because you was flying for Bournemouth, and then you never quite know how it's going to go. But you've just gone to Man City, and it feels like you're taking your game to another level, if that was possible.
It feels like a fairy tale, if I'm honest, but I feel like I've got a lot more to show. I feel like I want to be playing out wide, I want to play as a 9, I want to show how versatile I am, and just help the team as much as we can. So, I'm enjoying my football, and it can only get better.
Never, with all due respect, never mind the signing for Bournemouth. Go the 15-year-old you who had fallen out of love a little bit with football, and now you're here playing for Manchester City with a winners' medal around you. What would you say to the 15-year-old you now?
God's got a plan. Listen, it might not work out, and you might not know why, but the answer always reveals itself later on. So that's what I would say.
Is this an easy dressing room to join and be part of, given you are joining a group of winners, or can it be intimidating in any way?
A little bit of both. It's like they've won so many trophies, so this feels like it's just another one for them. But for me, it's so personal. I've never won a trophy before, so I give God all the glory. And to answer your question, it's not intimidating. I feel like everyone's got their experience, and they keep the guys that are new calm, level-headed, and like today, we had our game plan, done everything right, and victorious.
Jamie had a question that I didn't let him ask Bernardo Silva, so you can ask Antoine now.
I was just talking about what does this do for the title race? You've obviously 9 points behind. You've got a game in hand. Arsenal have to go to the Etihad. Do you think that maybe leaves Arsenal a bit of scar tissue and it gives you the ascendancy?
I think it gives us a boost. It gives us confidence coming back from the international break and hopefully catching up. I feel like we don't want to say too much because momentum can swing very quickly. So we just have to do our jobs leading up to that game, and hopefully we can finish off the job potentially.
Funny old sport, isn't it? It comes off the back of a difficult couple of weeks with the Real Madrid stuff and a couple of disappointing results in the league. You are right, it can change very quickly.
Yeah, it can. So, I mean, we've got top quality players, we create a lot of chances, and we've got good goal scorers. So, listen, it can change very quickly.
Come on, we will let you go because you might get cold. Thank you very much.